Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for tuning into another lively episode of Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about foreign independent wrestling from around the world. And our guest today, she's absolutely fantastic. She can be found either at the base of a cheerleading pyramid or quickly rising to the top of any women's division across the Midwest. And when we come back, I give to LEELA Hall. Make sure you stick around because you won't want to miss any of this.
Mosquito-borne diseases or mosquito-borne illnesses are diseases caused by bacteria, viruses, or parasites transmitted by mosquitoes. Nearly 700 million people get a mosquito-borne illness each year, resulting in over 725,000 deaths. If you live near a pond or lake, or you're scheduling an outdoor event, go online or call today for your free consultation.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about foreign independent wrestling from around the world. And LEELA, just thank you for your time. You've been on the wrestling scene for how long now?
It's gonna be a year in September, so just under.
That's that's like so crazy to me. Like, the wrestling business, as you can probably attest, is such a whirlwind. Has it felt like a year has been under your belt this early?
Honestly, it feels longer just because of how much and like how long I've been doing it. So it feels like I've been doing it longer, but yeah.
And that's so crazy because time really is relative. Like, what seems like a short amount of time to you feels like a million years to other people. So how do you keep up with the demands for the wrestling business asked of you? Because I know you're a very ambitious individual.
Basically, I don't know. It's just like I'll mentally prepare. You know, I have to spend like days mentally preparing for a match because I get so nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Just going back to House of Truth to help train and keep my skills up. But basically that's it.
So what does that process look like for you? Because it's super daunting. I can imagine just gearing up for a match.
Well, before the match, I like to tell myself, I like to calm myself down. I'll go over the match. Yeah. It's a lot of just telling myself I can do it, you know, calming myself down. I get so worked up over the littlest thing, but
sure. Yeah. You know, I'll never forget one of the first experiences I've ever had ring announcing, and I have such stage fright sometimes still. Like, I was so overwhelmed with the thought of so many people looking at me. Like, someone had to push me out to the curtain, and honestly, looking back now, it's just comical because you do grow leaps and bounds in just a short period of time. So what was is that feeling still prominent in almost a year of wrestling, like the match you had before your first match and up to the present moment?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's gotten a little better, but I feel like that feeling completely go away because I will always be nervous or how sure I think I am. But yeah, I still have it and I feel like it's not going to go anywhere. So,
you know, and I just think that's a testament to how much you really love something. Like, I really do feel like anxiety and excitement, they are different sides of the same coin. Like, they have the same emotional resonance, but one has a more positive outlook and the other, well, it has a more fearful one. Does that kind of does that resonate for you?
Yeah, sometimes I can't tell the difference between the two.
Sure.
I like to think that it's usually excitement and I'm just worrying about nothing.
So you did the competition cheer, right?
Yeah.
Is that the feeling almost similar, like going into a cheerleading competition and compared to a wrestling match? How does that cross over for you?
In cheer, you only have one take. to do.
Oh, yeah.
When wrestling, you only have your one match to get everything you need to do and show everyone what you're doing. And in cheer, that's basically the same thing. You only have one chance, and you better do it well, or else you look bad. So that's where like the anxiety comes in. It's the same between both. So I feel like with years of experience with cheer, it also helps me to calm myself down for wrestling too.
That's amazing. I mean, that's something called like energy transference, where you take, you know, something you learned from this time and you apply it to something different. And fascinating because wrestling individuals who have like a martial arts background, and
Yeah.
they also implement that into their wrestling stuff. Do you take your cheerleading skills and do you use that in the ring?
Definitely. I try to do it as much to, like, this is something that will make me stand out. So
Sure.
I thought I might as well do as much flips as I can in the ring. You know, that's not something I see really often with people. I feel like it definitely helps me, you know, just getting out there and trying to do everything, because it will make me more comfortable knowing I'm doing something I've already known and
Right.
everything new. So I feel like doing flips, it helps me like calm myself down knowing I've done some of these before, and helps me perform better.
I really couldn't have said that better myself. Like, yeah, you have already been through these experiences, so why not tap into that when you're bordering on unfound territory? That's really. Do you still keep yourself conditioned in terms of being that cheerleader? Do you still have what type of regimen do you have, and how does it supplement your wrestling?
So now that I've graduated, I'm not in cheer anymore.
Sure.
But I still go to like open gyms. I still go and practice my tumbling. You know, I still train and do everything that I did in cheer to keep up on my skills. And yeah, that's it.
That's cool. How physically demanding is the cheerleading aspect in comparison to professional wrestling? Because that's just seeing the things that you accomplish in a ring. I can only imagine what's going through your brain space.
Like during our practices for cheer, we'd practice for around like 3.5 hours, and have 3 different routines, all about like 3 minutes, some 2 minutes, but it like demands a lot of cardio and I can't think of the word, but a lot of cardio and like always
Stamina.
Yes, that word.
Yes.
A lot of stamina, and then with matches, you know, they're longer than cheer routines. So I feel like, you know, going from cheer, going to 3-minute rounds to about 10-minute matches, it definitely gives me that boost in the ring.
Yeah.
But wrestling, it does demand a lot of more stamina and cardio, but it definitely helped me with cheer. So
I can only imagine. I find that the cheerleading background gives you an interesting edge upon your competitors.
yeah, I try to stand out from everyone as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I feel that preppy, always smiling cheerleader helps me stand out. And, you know, like you said, doing flips in the ring and doing a bunch of cheer moves, I feel like it does help me stand out.
I'm just so glad that we have this opportunity to actually talk one-on-one, because like the wrestling business is so demanding, and each time I actually get a chance to talk to you, I only get to say hello and goodbye, and that's it. So I'm really thankful for this opportunity to actually get to know LEELA. Oh, you're just amazing. Okay, so we'll be right back after a word with our sponsors, and don't miss more with LEELA Hall. We'll be right back.
Golfside in Ypsilanti, where everyone comes to play.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about floor independent wrestling from around the world. And today, the amazingly talented, the amazingly athletic LEELA Hall. LEELA, I'm just so glad that you're here today. So I really wanted to talk to you about the concept of spirit and cheer, because I think a lot of people just glaze over such topics. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the human tone right now, it's very dark and it's very dreary. So why do you think the spirit that you carry with your energy is so important in the wrestling business right now?
I feel like, you know, there's like when you look at women's wrestling, there's certain people that you always see, and there's like some people look like all have the same kind of like gimmick character to them, and I feel like I want to stand out. I want to be as colorful as I can. I want to like make a bunch of people smile. I want to clap everyone's hands, and I think just doing like the most to stand out will get me far.
You know, and I really love that, because there are young women, young souls in the crowd. Like, they light up when your music hits, and it's so endearing, because you know, you're not that much older than them, but when they see what you're capable of, just the moves that you hit, the sequences you hit, it's like the fireworks lighting up a night sky, and it's just so amazing. And I think that's just such a critical message to send right now. How did you get into training in the first place? How did your path lead here?
I wish I had an interesting story, but like I started watching when I was like 8 or 9, so around like 2016, and
Yeah.
I started watching it, you know, just casually with my like family. And eventually, once I got to middle school, you know, everyone, you know, it's not cool anymore to just watch that kind of stuff. So I like fell out with it, stopped watching. And I remember one day in like June 2022, I went
Yeah.
downstairs and wrestling was on. And I don't know what happened. I was like, I want to do that. And so
Yeah.
from that day on, I've like all just been about wrestling and training and doing everything I can to get where I am today.
Oh my gosh, that's what are you talking about? That's an incredible story. I mean, all of how, you know, our paths begin in wrestling is just so unique to the other, because I didn't start watching WWE until very recently. I mean, I've always been familiar with the product. I pay attention to storylines because of what I see online, but like, I just love that your story is just so unique to you. Oh my god, and let's talk about the family affair that surrounds you at so many shows that I see you at. Like, you have such an amazing fan base. Why don't you tell our viewers about just your amazing support that you have?
So basically, when there's a lot of shows that are like around Wyandotte, and that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
So every chance I get, all my parents, most of my family, my parents' friends, all my friends, they'll go to the shows and they'll all support me. And you know, it's great having like this huge fan base. It makes me feel like, you know, this will help other people see the potential in me, just like my family and friends do.
And that's just, and how cool is that to have that type of experience in your hometown? Like, I'm from Wyandotte. I've been at Grizzlies for many a show. But to hear the crowd going absolutely insane for you, Miss LEELA Hall, is so electrifying, because when I hear Leela's name, I know her resounding fan base is so close to her. And I love that for you. So does having that support and proximity, does that help the nerves that you have when you go into a ring?
It definitely does help me knowing that there's people that know, like I know that are there, and but also like it brings the nerves in as well, because
Sure.
you know, I have to do really good. These people paid to come watch me and they want to support me, so I better put on a good match for them.
Mhm.
But you know, it still helps me a lot knowing that people that care about me and I care about are there to watch me, and they paid to come watch me, and it makes me feel great. So it's
Sure. And what is really cool about the fans that aren't really connected to your support, like, they are still open to even growing that support even wider, because you have that inspirational effect. You have that aura that's just so inviting. Like, I met you once and I'm like, I want to be her friend. I want to know all of the things about LEELA, the things that make LEELA tick, what she feels, and I just love that you're just coming into your own, and I love that you find yourself more and more each time you step between the ropes. So you have you just had a match at For Us Wrestling against the returning Ray Larson.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts as, I don't know if she's a rival, maybe an antagonist. I don't know what the dynamics of the things are between you, but how did you feel when Miss Ray Larson made her return?
You know, I was really happy for her. 10 months is like a long time being out of like a company, and I was so happy for her that she got to finally wrestle, and I was the match she had. And you know, we've had a history with,
Sure.
you know, a bunch of other promotions, but I honestly didn't see her as a rival. You know,
Yeah.
we're all in
Sure.
this like together. We all want one thing, and you know, she had to do what she had to do, and I had to do what I had to do, and but she walked out on top that day. But you can't really say much about that.
You know what? And sometimes that is how it is. Like, there's only can be one winner, and
Yeah.
you know, it gave you the opportunity to, you know, take things back home, reassess, re-examine, and become even better than you previously were, because I feel like that is in your character. So what goals are you working on in professional wrestling? What are you working on right now?
Right now, I eventually want to, you know, there's a lot of opponents I want to wrestle eventually, and there's a lot of promotions I want to wrestle for. And the end goal is, you know, making it to the big leagues. And some, you know, some opponents I want to wrestle personally are like people like Ari Alexander. I've wrestled.
Ooh,
I've had some matches with Thunder Kitty. Um,
very
yeah,
tough opponent.
yeah. The big one's Ari Alexander. So
Why Ari Alexander? She is definitely a force to be reckoned with, but what about Ari Alexander do you think, why do you think that would be your dream match?
I've seen some of her matches, and like just when she comes out, like the power she has, and just like the whole energy she has, such like a badass kind of energy. And she is just, I don't even know, she's just someone who like I saw wrestle, especially at Divine. I saw her match with Stella, and that was amazing. That was an amazing match. So I was like, I want that opportunity. And ever since then, I'm just like, I want to wrestle her.
You know what? I really think will get that match one day. You are constantly putting in the work, you are putting in the effort, and when you have that energy and that's what you emit, those things that you want, they will find you because you make yourself available for them. LEELA, thank you so much. We have to get to a break with a word from our sponsors, and we will be right back with LEELA Hall. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Jay Aubrey Jackson, the $50 computer virus guy in Metro Detroit. We are the home of the true flat $50 computer repair. $50 a job, no matter how long it takes. Never a penny more. Netbooks, laptops, desktop towers, all-in-one computers, phones, iPhones, tablets, iPads, and game systems. Free diagnosis and money-back guarantee. If we don't fix it, you pay nothing. And we do same-day service within 24 hours of drop-off. And are open 7 days a week, so come to the computer virus guy now.
Welcome back, everyone, to our final segment of Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about for independent wrestling from around the world. And joined with me, LEELA Hall. LEELA, you are on your way to being a top-notch talent. And I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see where you go, because upcoming, you have another debut. Where will that be?
This weekend, XICW, against Randy.
Very cool. And this is not your first dance with Randy West, is it?
No, we had a match at Divine, and it was a really good match, you know, but she got the better of me that day, and it's okay. I'm coming back better than ever.
You know what? She is one of the toughest broads in Michigan, but you are learning so much about yourself, and you are using that information to put into your arsenal. And that inevitable time when you come toe-to-toe with Randy West yet again, I bet you will give her a little more run for her money. And that's amazing. She is one of the women I look up to in this business. I mean, you can see why. She is one of the most decorated women in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
So where can fans connect with you, and what are you currently working on besides your dedication?
On Facebook, it's just LEELA Hall. Instagram _LEELA Hall. Come out and watch XICW, me against Randy West. I'm currently working on just making myself better. I'm just working on new moves, new skills, and you're gonna see definitely a new LEELA Hall.
I hear it. I hear the determination in your voice, LEELA. Like, you might appear like this seemingly innocent, smiling girl I see before me, but best you watch out. It's the ones that smile the most you have to keep your eye on.
Yep.
And you have one of the best bridges I've ever seen. I'm sure you've heard that time and time again, but just your athleticism knows no bounds. And the more you channel that, the more it's going to give you the success that is inevitably yours. LEELA, thank you for your time. This was so much fun. It was, like I said, we live both very crazy, busy lives, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity where we can actually sit down and talk one-on-one. I've learned so much about you. Thank you for coming on my platform and using it as your own, because this is what we do for each other. This is what we do in the crazy world of wrestling. But everyone, I'd like to thank our crew. I'd like to thank our fans for their continued support. And this has been another amazing episode of Bumping and Thumping. I'm Annie, and this has been your podcast featuring everything about 4 independent wrestling from around the world. We'll catch you next time.